Hello, Karan. Okay, hello, Iridia and Moss and Philip. Hello, Mei Lee and Sarah over on YouTube. So we're coming together today, surprise, surprise, to practice meditation. That is to give up and let go of what we think, what we believe, um, who we imagine ourselves to be, what we imagine the world around us to be. We don't reject that, but we begin to be more and more aware of what is happening right now. Sometimes it takes a slap in the face to really bring you to what's happening right now. And you'll get slapped in the face. There's no doubt about that. Whether it's old age, sickness, death, if you're attached to something, you're going to get slapped. And there's no two ways about that. We can't really avoid that. But what we can do is recognize the truth of impermanence, recognize the truth of the cause of our suffering, which is our attachment, our desire, our craving and aversion. And we can begin to live in a way, to practice in a way that prevents those slaps from spiraling us into hell for infinite lives, for infinite moments. So when we can learn to practice, to meditate, to ground ourselves in what's happening right now, and to look more and more deeply, to take difficulty, to take loss as an opportunity to look more deeply, rather than to get, fill our heads with anger and rage and conflict and confusion, but to look more and more closely at what is really happening in the most subtle, the most refined way. So we're here to practice that together. So as we usually do, take a few more minutes for people to join us, for people to show up where we are right now. Hi, Susan and Vidura over on YouTube, and it's great to see Lick and Anna and David. Yes, Lick, Anna and David, Francie, Philip, Moss. Meaty. Yeah, it's great to be here with all of you.
I don't know today. I see it sideways.
Oh.
Do you see me sideways?
Oh, it's okay. It's good. Some day is sideways. Some day is
really?
upside down. No problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sideways is a good lesson for all of us. Because just in the same way that we're going to get slapped in the face, life is going to turn sideways, for sure. So we practice to step into sidewaysness. We practice to step into this slap of finding out that we don't get what we want, and we aren't able to avoid what we don't want. Not possible. I always feel that if you truly think someone's enlightened and you truly want to test it, just go up to them and give them a big slap in the face. It's tough. It's a tough truth. It really is. And I mean, if someone is to that degree of enlightenment to where you're kind of very convinced, like, wow, this is an enlightened person, they're not going to be alone. There's going to be people around them that are not going to like you, and should you slap anyone in the face? No, but if someone's enlightened, it's not going to bother them so much. But to be at peace with those slaps in the face that we get in our life, right? Those difficulties, those challenges, those losses, those gains that disappear. And something really fundamental to our practice is when we do meditation, when we pursue, stay with, follow a meditation method, we learn to kind of put down our egos. And I find for myself that one of the biggest issues that comes up when we get slapped in the face, when we lose what we've gained, when we gain what we don't want to have, it's not just that experience, because that experience in and of itself is, I mean, it's not so meaningful, really. It's nothing. It's just a slap in the face, or a loss, or an experience that you weren't expecting. Something that's a little bit difficult, a little bit tough. But where the major problems seem to come up, where the major problems really seem to come up, is the ego's response to it. So now we feel shame and anger and jealousy and fear. All these complicated emotions and thoughts kind of pile onto us, right? And we bury ourselves in this self-focus. We bury ourselves in this attachment to our suffering, attachment to what we don't want, attachment to what we have. So instead of all that, a difficulty, a slap in the face, a point of confusion, a point of loss, a point of any of these 8 winds. Let me grab this here. Eight winds. So the 8 worldly winds is kind of a Buddhist teaching. These 8 winds yes, praise and blame, recognition and disregard, or status and disrepute, gain and loss, pleasure and sorrow. These kinds of experiences of, in some ways things we like and things that we don't like, this is it. This is what we're going to experience nonstop. And both of them are impermanent. The positive is not going to continue in the same way that the negative is not going to continue. And in none of that, if you look closely, are you going to find this self, this permanent, fixed self-entity, this agent. You're just not going to find it. You'll find sensations, feelings, perceptions, but you won't find this perceiver, this person who's been blamed or praised, this person who has gained something or lost something. And even if we look with our normal, ordinary mind, our normal attention that we have right now, through a kind of scientific, direct looking, where do we find this characterization of ourselves? This person, this self that is subject to gain or loss, pleasure or pain. And it's not just to come up with an answer, to be told what the answer is. That's not how Buddhism works. That's not how the Buddha taught. But it's an invitation for investigation. Some people take up this question of, who am I? What is this? And they stay with it for years and years and years and years. But so many of us, we can get into the mindset where we ask it once, we come up with some kind of answer, and then, well, that's it. That's who I am. That's what's happening. But perhaps that's not quite it. To take things at face value, to take the situation that we're in face value, to take the idea that we have of ourselves, whether it's positive or negative or going up or going down, at face value. But actually to investigate and to look deeply into what is happening right now. So that's what we're going to practice today. Looking deeply, asking this question, exploring the nature of our mind, the nature of our body, the nature of reality. And to do that, we use a meditation method. Meditation method is not to be complicated, not to be confusing, and not to be something that we kind of jump around and use in different ways at different times. But the meditation method is this simple, direct practice, this way of applying the mind in a non-convoluted, non-conceited, non-egoic way to apply the meditation method. So you can bring to your mind at this moment, what is your meditation method? Ask, David, you ask David. Bante, you ask Bante. Okay, I'll ask. And we ask, what is the meditation method that we are using, that we practice? Don't get into a debate with yourself. Don't try to find the best meditation method, but bring up for yourself at this moment, what method of meditation are you going to practice for this period? And as we find that, as we pick up that meditation method, we can set a commitment, we can make a vow to practice that meditation method for the full meditation period. That is beginning and ending at the sound of the bell, this meditation period. We can bring to mind that this life, this opportunity to meditate, this position of a healthy body, a healthy mind, is rare, uncommon, unique. And that invite us very deeply to practice, to take advantage of this opportunity, not to take it lightly, but to really practice at this time. So take a moment to find your meditation position. Comfortable, stable, upright. Bringing your attention inward towards the body and the breath. Taking a few moments to fully relax, to fully find yourself where you are right now. And as we hear the sound of the bell, practicing meditation with our full heart, full body, full mind, to detach, to give up, to let go. Just practicing the meditation method. So much of the time we are busy with the outside world, obligations, relationships, likes and dislikes. At this moment, through the meditation method, giving our full, undivided attention, our whole heart, body, mind, lungs, to this moment, this truth, just breathing and being aware fully. practice in meditation is not to get in this tranced, sleepy kind of state. It's not to have a empty mind, but rather, without expectation, without a goal, to practice the method, to refresh, to reconnect with the truth of stillness, the truth of peace through detachment, peace through letting go instead of holding on. Just breathing and being aware. Again and again, reconnecting, realigning with stillness, with awareness. Again and again, letting go of the tangle, the knot, the desire, the aversion. Just breathing and being aware. It's true that many of us know very well about difficulty, suffering, confusion. We have a relationship with it. We have a connection with difficulty, with suffering. But right now, at this moment, having a relationship with stillness, with detachment, with letting go. Sure, there might be some pain, there might be some uncomfortableness, but also this alive disenchantment, this not being pulled in by the flavor of our difficulty, the flavor of our pleasure, or even the pleasantness, but to be aware, to just breathe, to just be aware, to still and calm and relax, even if it's only for a moment, those difficulty, tangles, knots. Connecting with disentanglement, forming a relationship with letting go. Just breathing and being aware. We fall into a state in our meditation practice where we're so uncomfortable, we're so unhappy, it just doesn't work. Or we're so confused, we're so dull. The room of our mind, of our body is so dark, so dimly lit that we couldn't practice, we couldn't apply the method. So at that time, practice to sit and to be still, to make peace with difficulty, to make peace with what you're experiencing right now. Not to run away from it, to hide from it, but to make peace with what you're experiencing right now. The body is not satisfactory. The mind, mental phenomena, preferences, thoughts are not satisfactory. They will never become satisfactory. We will never be satisfied by the body. We will never be satisfied by our thoughts, by our mental experiences. So practice to accept, to be with, to look deeply into this unsatisfactory experience. Instead of trying to make it satisfying, instead of trying to make meditation, your mind, yourself, your body, what you want it to be, let go of what you want it to be. Investigate, be with, look closely at what it is. The body at this moment, the mind at this moment, exactly the way that it is. Just breathing and being aware. So at this time you can stretch a bit, do self-massage, massage your face, any parts of the body that are painful. Can be nice to massage the face after meditation. To finish today, we will have a short reading, a little bit of a Zen teaching. I'm not sure what it will be, but that's the plan. And just stretch out, get comfortable. I'll offer a little bit of incense here. So when we practice meditation, we perfume the body and the mind. We spread the incense of sincerity, of present-mindedness, of non-attachment. We spread the incense of awakening throughout our life. And we offer that incense, that sweet smell of peace, detachment, towards all beings, not just those that we can see and hear and, the way that we see the world, but we offer that practice of detachment, of letting go, of ending suffering in all directions, towards all beings, inside and out. And when we recognize that there are beings, there are states, there are experiences way outside of our selfishness, way outside of our small-minded idea of ourself and our interpersonal conflicts, our interpersonal drama, that selfishness is easily relieved and let go of. So, some Zen teachings. See what we have in here. Also, so everyone knows, we will have a Zen monk coming to give a Dharma talk soon about what is Zen. A very experienced, wonderful teacher monk from Germany will be coming to give a talk. And we will also have another monk who I know, an American monk, who will be giving an introduction to Vipassana. Right? So we have a lot of nice activities coming up. And when we practice like this, when we embrace the difficulty, the the truth that the body is not satisfying, the mind and mental phenomena are not satisfying, we prepare ourselves to have these experiences, these enlightening experiences, these happenings of great compassion, of great wisdom, of great kindness, great forgiveness, great gentleness. But we have to walk through the mud if we want to plant flowers. We have to go into the garden. We have to go into the soil if we want to plant seeds. Otherwise, it's just TikTok. It's just YouTube, right? It doesn't go farther than that. You've really got to step into your life, and that's what we do when we practice meditation like this. And hey, it's difficult. You know, this body is not built of stone. It's not built of metal. It's very fragile. It's very vulnerable. And our egos are also very fragile and vulnerable. Okay. All right, let's try this one. 3 steps. The words of the teachings all have 3 successive steps, so one after another. The elementary, the intermediate, and the final good. At first, it is just necessary to teach people to develop a good mind. In the intermediate stage, they break through the good mind. The last stage is finally called really good. This is what is meant by the sayings, an enlightened being is not an enlightening being. An enlightening being is not an enlightening being, but is called an enlightening being. The truth is not truth, yet it is not other than truth. Everything is like this. If, however, you teach only one stage, you will cause people to go to hell. If all 3 stages are taught at once, they will go to hell on their own. This is not the work of a real teacher. So we have this concept in Buddhism of upaya, expedient means. So what upaya means is that someone is taught, someone is instructed according to where they are at this moment. It doesn't matter what Buddhists really believe, or what the Buddha really said, or what the original teachings are. A teacher, a master, someone who can instruct, someone who can help take others to the other shore to become enlightened, speaks to that person depending on where they are, to support them in recognizing suffering, recognizing the cause of suffering, which is desire, attachment, recognizing that there is an ending of suffering and that there is a path to ending suffering, the Eightfold Path, which is basically ethics, morality, meditation, and wisdom. Okay? So when we practice, we have to meet ourselves where we are at that moment. We have to cut off, get rid of all these big-minded ideas about the meditation experience we're going to have, the progress we want to make, the person that we want to become. We have to meet ourselves where we are at this moment. Elementary, intermediate, and final good. Realizing that the present mirroring awareness is your own Buddha is the elementary good. So realizing that the present mirroring awareness is your own Buddha is the elementary good. So that this teacher, this moment, this experience as it is right now is your own Buddha, your own awakening, your doorway to awakening. The Buddha can't wake up. Even Siddhartha Gautama didn't become the Buddha in the past. He's not going to become the Buddha in the future. He become the Buddha in the moment, this present. So the same will be true of us, is true of us. Not to keep dwelling in the immediate mirroring awareness is the intermediate good. Not to be stuck to this situation, not to be attached. Whether it's the Buddha or not the Buddha, don't be attached. Not to make an understanding of non-dwelling either is the final good. I think it goes back to the saying, an enlightening being is not an enlightening being, but is called an enlightening being. The truth is not truth. Yet it is not other than truth. So do not make an understanding of non-dwelling either. Do not draw duality between being a Buddha or an ordinary person. Such a person is one of the Buddhas, neither an ordinary person nor a sage. Yet do not mistakenly state that a Buddha is neither an ordinary person nor a sage. The founder of Zen said, with no ability and no sagacity, I think qualities of a sage, this is enlightened sagehood. Yet if you say a Buddha is a sage, that is also wrong. So the Buddha is no other than this self. This self is no other than the Buddha. but you are not the Buddha. And do not make an understanding of Buddha and self. With no ability and no sagacity, no qualities of a sage, this is enlightened sagehood. So to be enlightened is not to be describable, not to be attached to any qualities. It's neither ability nor non-ability. A Buddha does not have the qualities of a sage, also does not have the qualities of a sage. Empty of ability, empty of sagehood, empty of goodness and empty of evil. This is a Buddha. Or not, who knows? Okay, so today we'll get back into the habit that we had recently of taking the precepts together in our early sessions. So if you would like to take the precepts, which are these guidelines, these rules for bringing mindful virtue into your life, so to be mindful of how you are acting, how you are affecting others, and so we can take the 5 precepts together. So I will say them, I will offer them, and then you can repeat after me to receive them, okay? And when you repeat after me, you're making a promise to yourself and to this community and your community in general that you will abide by these ethical guidelines for living, okay? And you prioritize them in your life as much as you're able. Okay, so we can all bring our hands together. And you can repeat after me. I observe the precept to not kill any living beings. I observe the precept to not steal. I observe the precept to be careful about my sexuality so that it doesn't harm others or myself. I observe the precept to not tell lies or speak harshly. I observe the precept to not take any intoxicating substances. Following these 5 precepts, may your mind and body be protected. May your practice grow and grow. May your mind become bright and your body still and calm. We can now all say sadhu 3 times together. Sadhu. 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 We can bow. All right. Thank you all for joining today. Be happy, be peaceful, and see you all again soon.
Dante, can I ask you a
Yes,
question?
yes. Oh,
You,
yes, I'm here, Robert. I can hear you.
sure, that what you read was very nice, and I like to find it so that I can read it again. Would you mind sharing where you found it?
Yeah, this is from Thomas Cleary, Thomas Cleary's book, The Zen Reader. That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, we referred to it before. It's very nice. Okay.
Yeah, the copy that I have doesn't have page numbers on it, so I couldn't tell you which one it is, but it's in Pai Chang is the author. Yeah.
All right, that's plenty. I can find it. Thank you so
Okay.
much. These are wonderful, and maybe I'll see you later today.
Okay. Take care.
Bye now.
Maxim, are you there?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What's up,
Yeah,
Maxim?
I
You want?
wanted to give gratitude real quick, and what you said, like during the meditation, really spoke to me. Where you mentioned that we have a relationship with suffering, and on the other side, there is the relationship with stillness, and yeah, that really got me thinking. And I wanted to give thanks for this session in general.
Yeah.
Wish I could.
So it's always nice to see you here, Maxim. And when you have the chance, you can try to keep up on YouTube, keep up with
Yeah,
what we're doing, and whatever helps you to have your practice and to meditate.
yeah, but I do my best, and yeah, especially since you give lots of opportunities for me to join here. It's really great.
Okay.
And also, yeah, sorry again for joining with my mic unmuted. I usually have push to talk enabled, and yeah, I have my settings mixed up.
It's okay. All right. I'll see you again soon, Maxim.
I hope I
I hope
didn't
so.
disrupt anyone's practice.
No, you didn't disrupt anything.
Okay, great. Yeah, hope to see you again soon
All right.
as well. See you.
All right. You're welcome, Susan. Take care. Cubano, Zach, everyone.